I finally got my red Roadster. Oh wait, this is one of the original Roadsters. So this is something I've never driven before. It's incredibly small, as you can see, but this is what started it all. This is the car that made Tesla, made the Model S possible, made the Model X possible, made the Model 3 possible. So I am incredibly lucky and fortunate to be able to drive this today. Some quick fun facts about this. You know, this was made in 2008, 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds. Roadster speed. 240 miles of range, which is more range than the base Model 3, the secret Model 3 off menu. Guess what? It has a key. The only Tesla with an actual key. So we're gonna figure out how to drive this thing. So how do you open the door? Okay, I figured that part out. This is such beautiful, the Tesla red, you can't beat the Tesla red. Yeah, this is so low to the ground. Look at this. You know the kid Model S? This is like the kid Roadster for adults. Oh, Jesus, wow. So I'm 6'4". That's an ongoing joke. I mention that in all of my videos. So I'm a pretty tall guy, you know, 6'4", and this feels like a go-kart. Hopefully does the seat go, I'm assuming the seat does not go back any further than this. Yeah, the original Roadster. We're gonna find out how fun this thing is because certainly looks fun. No roof either. I mean, my head I can see probably over the roof. Let me just do this. All right, let's go. And the regen braking is like, you know, we've only been going slow so far. It doesn't feel like the regen is that powerful. Whoa. So I just spent the day driving the Tesla Roadster in the hills of Paso Robles, California. Shout out to Monterey Touring Vehicles who let us drive this car for the day. So if you ever want to rent this thing, you can actually rent it yourself if you go to them. And shout out to Canosa, of course, for putting on this great event. We're having a good time. It is quite startling to be in a car this small. It feels like a race car, like bumper cars almost. It's kind of bizarre to be in this car that kind of started it all. And there's no fancy 15-inch touchscreen display. There's no navigation, you know, turn-by-turn navigation. There's really no park button, which was kind of confusing. You got the gear shifter down here, which is kind of crazy, but man, this thing drives so well on these curvy roads here in California. I mean, the steering is tight. It's definitely a sports car. I mean, you sit so low. It's such a small, compact car. It seats 2 people. Getting in and out is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. And yeah, there's just a little bit of storage back in their trunk and there's no frunk. But this thing is just so much fun. I can definitely see why people love this car and why this kind of started the cult following that is now Tesla. And yeah, you got a little screen display here on the left-hand side, but it just feels nostalgic, even though this thing is only about 10 years old, which is crazy because it just feels like you're jumping in a time machine with this thing, but had so much fun driving it. If you're interested in staying up to date with the latest Tesla news, you should check out today's sponsor, Morning Brew, which is a free daily newsletter Monday through Saturday to catch you up on all the important business news of the day in just 5 minutes. If your morning routine consists of mindless scrolling on social media, do yourself a favor and replace it with Morning Brew. Traditional finance and business news is usually boring, but Morning Brew provides news in a useful yet funny manner with a witty and relevant style to their writing that makes it easy to consume. It's my favorite newsletter by far because they cover a lot of the breaking news related to Tesla. It's actually how I found out about Tesla finally joining the S&P 500, which skyrocketed the stock, and the all-new revamped Google Pay app, which has some really cool features. If you're a fan of tech and finance, you should definitely subscribe to Morning Brew. It's free and takes less than 15 seconds, so click the link in the description below to subscribe today. Now, after driving the original Tesla Roadster, it made me even more excited to get the second generation Roadster, and I thought it would be fun to go over some of the biggest differences between the first gen Roadster and the second gen Roadster to really get an idea of the innovation that Tesla has shown in the past decade, which is more than any other car manufacturer on the planet. Now, the original Roadster was produced from 2008 to 2012. It was a 2-seater sports car based on the Lotus Elise chassis and was the first highway legal electric vehicle to use lithium-ion battery cells. It was also the first EV to have more than 200 miles of range. It has a 53 kilowatt-hour battery, which is the same capacity as the Model 3 Standard Range Plus. Now, Tesla only produced 500 Roadsters in 2008, and the one I drove was VIN number 351, which was cool. And yes, it's the same exact model that Elon launched into space in 2018. Now, according to the EPA, the original Roadster can travel 244 miles on a single charge and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds with a top speed of 125 miles an hour. Now, the original Roadster's efficiency was reported as 120 miles per gallon equivalent, which is right around the same exact efficiency as a 2020 Model 3 Performance. Now, the price of the original Roadster was $109,000. Now, as far as the technology goes, there's not a whole lot of tech inside the cabin. It has a normal instrument cluster behind the wheel with a very small and simple touchscreen display on the left-hand side where it shows the battery level and charging status, but nothing like what we see today, even in the cheapest Model 3. Now, less than 10 years after the original Roadster's debut, Tesla announced their next generation Roadster in 2017, and it looks downright incredible. I was lucky enough to see it in person at the Model Y event, and let me say this again for the people in the back, the Tesla Red is just out of this world, especially on this next-gen Roadster. There's no official release date for this yet, but production should start in late 2021 with delivery starting sometime in 2022. When it does officially come out, the next-gen Roadster will be the quickest production car in the world with a 0 to 60 speed of less than 2 seconds, which is twice as quick as the original Roadster. That is just insane, and it will have a 200 kilowatt hour battery, which is 4 times the capacity of the original Roadster, and the top speed is over 250 miles per hour. I mean, does it really matter how fast it goes at that point? Is anyone going to go that fast? Probably, but the really exciting part, if that wasn't exciting enough, is that if the next-gen Roadster has the new 4680 tabless batteries and the structural pack, it could very possibly have 700 miles of range on a full charge, which is nearly 3 times the range as the original Roadster. Now, that's not confirmed, but Tesla said the range will be at least 620 miles, and that was before Tesla's Battery Day event, so we'll see what that final number is. Now, the base model starts at a cool $200,000, which is twice as expensive as the first gen, and Tesla is also producing 1,000 Founder Series editions, which will cost $250,000. Now, there are some interesting quirks, if you will, about the next generation Tesla Roadster. For example, it doesn't have any side mirrors, which I can only assume regulatory laws will require those to be added before deliveries. But what's even more interesting is that it doesn't have any door handles. At the beginning of this video, you saw where I was a little confused on where the door handle was on the original Roadster. And now with the second gen Roadster's exterior door handles, they've been replaced with a touch-sensitive swipe gesture to open the doors, which is definitely futuristic. Now, one feature that the first and second gen Roadsters share is the fact that they both lack a front trunk. In fact, the second gen Roadster seems to not have any front hood opening at all. It looks like it's just one solid piece, which is interesting. Now, the new Roadster also has a yoke steering wheel for now, at least, and that may be replaced with a normal steering wheel before it officially delivers. Now, the biggest eye-catching feature in the interior is the long curved touchscreen that sort of hovers over the console area. It will certainly be fun to see what kind of user interface Tesla designs for this brand new touchscreen that is unlike any other touchscreen that they offer. It also seems to have a small digital instrument cluster that spans across the entire dash. Tesla built the new Roadster to be a performance supercar, but still managed to fit in 4 seats compared to just 2 in the original Roadster. Now, nobody knows exactly how big the back seats are in the new Roadster, but they do seem to be pretty small. Now, the middle part of the glass roof is made to be lightweight and removable, so you can easily store it in the trunk to make this a convertible of sorts. Now, speaking of the trunk, the new Roadster seems to have a bit more storage, along with a different hatchback-style design compared to the original Roadster. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but after all those impressive specs, the geek in me is really excited about this next feature. If you look closely, you'll notice that the new Roadster doesn't have any windshield wipers. Now, there's only one photo that I could find that shows one huge wiper that really stuck out like a sore thumb on this beautiful car. Tesla's answer to this is possibly a new electromagnetic windshield wiper system, which they filed a patent for. Tesla said their design for this new wiper system involves the use of an actuator with a guide rail and an electromagnetic moving block, which forms a linear mono wiper. Now, the benefit of this new wiper system is reduced friction and a wider range of the window covered by a wiper sweep. It also should draw less power from the car's battery, as electromagnets are frictionless, which should help optimize range and aerodynamics. That just sounds really cool to me, and hopefully the Roadster has that new wiper system. And if this car wasn't already bizarre enough, one of the optional upgrades is of course called the SpaceX package, which would include about 10 small rocket thrusters arranged seamlessly around the car according to Elon. This package will supposedly give the Roadster dramatic improvements in acceleration, top speed, braking, and cornering, which, I mean, come on, it's just not even fair at this point. But the best part is Elon said it could even give the Roadster, wait for it, the ability to fly. That seems like the perfect place to end. As you can see, Tesla has been the most innovative company over the past decade, and after driving the original Roadster, I cannot wait to drive the next one. If you want to be the first to see my videos when I get my next generation Roadster, be sure to subscribe, as I will be having a ton of fun with that. Thanks so much to Canosa Events, Travel Paso, Monterey Touring Vehicles for letting me spend a day with the OG Roadster. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below and let me know your favorite Tesla features that you think sets them apart from all other cars. My name is Andy. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.